Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. It's the Ergo AMA, and you know who this is. Well, this is Dan, right? So I'm back in Japan. I am your man with the Ergo merch, like a fan. And I guess I ran out of stuff that I can rhyme with Dan, so I'll hand it over to QX parentheses, who is a man. And oh, well, excuse me, sir. You shifted your way, but that's all right. Oh, you're not QX. You're see, like QX. You're confusing me. First, you're half of you is gone. Then you're Alex. Oh, there it is. There is Alex. There he is. All right. He's
Perfect.
yeah, I think he's
I can keep rhyming, Dan, if you want to.
yeah, but I think Alex is in outer space right now. That's
He
what I
is.
think.
He's in the Tesla that got sent to space, I think.
Yeah, but isn't that one like a roadster?
That's true. It's got no top. How you doing, Alex? How you doing, Dan?
Yeah, so hello everyone. Yeah, my pleasure to be again on the MA. And yeah, don't miss the spaces tomorrow. The first reminder for the community. So yeah, it will be space tomorrow. And
Today. It's today, Alex.
Spaces. Oh, fifth. Is it today?
Yeah, buddy, it's today.
Oh, my bad, actually. Yeah, but what time then? So yeah. I thought
hours.
like last time it was on Friday. Okay. All right. So
No
yeah,
worries,
don't miss spaces today. So QX invited all the developers, right? Including even one cat themed. So yeah, but he will listen only, right?
You know, QX, see what you did. You confused even Kushti.
I did.
And,
I went by his dates, though. So, I don't know. I don't know.
That's pretty messed up because Kushti's a smart guy, so he's difficult to confuse, and you confused him. And
I did. That's what I do. That's my MO.
I'm confused by a hairdo. Shouldn't you like be wearing a hat that's slightly tilted sideways ish?
I went to put on a hat today, Dan, and my wife said, "Don't wear a hat. It's a good hair day." So I kept it on for you. I figured you'd be here in the AMA, Dan.
Oh well, that's adorable. Yeah,
Dan,
yeah.
tell us about your life. It's been like a month or two since you've been on here.
Yeah, it's been
much must have happened.
Well, yeah. I ate food, and I went to different places, and I slept at night sometimes, and now I'm back, and
Sounds
that
amazing.
happened. Yeah, many things like that. No, I actually, it's been, I've been away for quite a bit of time, and I mean, it's just been like nonstop travel. So I don't know if what have I done one since I've been back from Argentina?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So the first trip that I was on, which was back in July.
That was a lithium trip, right?
Yeah, that's right. So it was to Argentina to kind of get into tokenizing lithium on Palmyra, which went really well. And so we're working towards that right now. It's going to be very exciting because there's quite a bit of volume that actually is already being done with lithium trading in general. And we have an in with some really key lithium producers. And the good thing about lithium is that there is no problem with demand. There's actually something like some ridiculous amount. There's like 20 times more demand than incoming supply. So it's literally anytime you mine lithium, it's already bought. There's already you have no problem. It doesn't sit around. You just you can always sell it, which is really good because that means that the actual commodity, we're not going to have to deal with they're not really going to have to deal with sales too much, but we're actually starting from the other side. We're starting from the production, the mining side, so that we can assign traceability, assign tokenization to it for more transparency, for more opportunities well, basically, the tokenization is going to happen is most likely going to be a security token offering, and also a commodity token. So both will happen. We're still kind of figuring out exactly what the mechanics behind this are, but this is, like I said, this is going to be quite exciting because this, well, obviously, will the volume is going to be on Ergo, and so this is going to bring quite a bit of volume to Ergo because, like I said, there's no problem with moving this stuff. It's literally always, as long as you have it, it always moves. And we're actually right now talking to one of the largest mining companies in Argentina about working together on that. So, so that was a really great trip. I'm going to be back in Argentina in October to continue the conversation well, not just the conversation, but to continue the business and also visit the mining provinces. So there are several provinces in Argentina that are specific for lithium mining. So I'm going to be visiting those provinces in particular and working with local governments to again onboard them onto the platform, get credentials going, get all these things happening. So, like I said, quite a bit of exciting movement. So after that, of course, I came back from like a week. Came back home for a week, and then went to Las Vegas and shared an apartment with UQX, and I will never be the same again after that. I cannot. I still haven't showered enough.
You still
Um,
you locking your door in your bedroom at night still
yeah, I
after that one?
still am. I still have that. It's like trauma.
Yeah,
Um,
it happens.
yeah. Well, but Vegas was actually. I think this time it was actually a lot more productive even than before, at least from our end. Plus, there were quite a few people interested in Rosen. We got some in the SIGs. We got a bunch of merch out, right? So you got I still have a bunch of my SIGs merch. Somebody actually stole one of my sweaters. I don't know who. His name is probably not QX, although it probably is. What are you going to do with that sweater? It's like you and your wife can wear it and you'll still have room left. Like
Which
it's
sweater,
my
Dan?
there was a sweater, somebody gave me a sweatshirt and it just disappeared. It was like right there.
I
And
promise
I'm
it
pretty
wasn't me.
sure, and I'm pretty sure you snagged it. Yeah. But now, I got my I got my Ergo sweater, and the good thing about that was after Vegas, I actually ended up going to Canada to see Luca, to see
Did you
to
did you
see
give him did you bestow on him some merch?
I bestowed the merch on me because it was freezing because Montreal was freaking cold, man. So it was a good thing that I had the sweater because I was like, what the hell am I going to do with the sweater? Because it was like 100 degrees in Las Vegas. And then,
103, yeah, terrible.
yeah, or something like that. And then I go to Montreal to see Luca, and it's barely like 70 and miserable. It's raining outside, and I didn't bring any pants. I just brought like shorts with me because it was supposed to be a quick trip. And I was freezing, man. But that sweater came in handy. So um, I did support Ergo merch in Canada, in Canada.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so all those trips are really great. And like I said, I think Vegas was really good for us. I think we got a lot of new interest in Vegas. We had we had several of our community members come out. Mark the Shark was with us. Um, Shashir was with us, and MG Pie. He also came out on his way back from Japan. Um, yeah, it was
Yeah,
overall,
you
I
guys
think, was really good.
Yeah, you guys had a lot of interest in Palmyra there. You guys have very good name recognition in the community for sure.
Yeah, this is actually this is really great to hear because it took a while, it took quite a bit of time because like even last year people still weren't
No.
they knew the Zengate brand but they didn't really know the Palmyra brand as much. This year, really, because we focused on Palmyra and people just knew the brand. We had our own merch. I don't know if some of you might have seen it on socials. Keep Palm and tokenize RWAs. Those are the t-shirts that you got if you signed up for the Palm DAO newsletter. Yeah, so that was good. Actually, this t-shirt right here, if some of you recall, this is actually from our Austin meetup. And that was a really nice meetup. It was really good. It was a good time. We had over like 120 people show up. I actually think that was the main event that got obviously the Cardano community is a lot more bullish on Ergo than they were even like 2 years ago, right? So there's a lot more people involved. There's and then obviously it's not just because of the meetup; it was because of Rosen and because of the different things that are happening in the ecosystem. And we already had, of course, Cardano people in the Ergo community. But I really think that at that meetup, we definitely added people to the community. I think that people that weren't or kind of were, curious about Ergo really became bullish on Ergo during that meetup. And I think they stayed in the community and they've been following through on did you turn from good to evil right now, QX? What happened?
It's synced with my emotions. When was the Austin meetup, Dan? When was that?
That was in 21, or was it 22?
Oh, wow. Okay.
No, I think it was 22. Yeah, I think it was 22-ish. I don't know.
So when things pick back up again, don't forget we've got an open invite to Colorado. Joe's got a building there that we can use for a meetup.
Joe's got a mountain there. I mean,
I don't know if he wants to invite people to his private mountain, Dan, but he does have a community building in town that he's opening up, willing to open up.
I see. I'm glad to see that made you happy and brighter.
That did.
Wow,
yes.
That's really sweet.
So what? So I saw Chef was working with an olive oil farmer.
That's right. That's right. That. Farmers.
Wow. Yeah. So that's tokenizing olive oil. So because I understand that olive oil is stricken with a lot of counterfeiting, right? They'll mix it with crappy stuff and ship it off, kind of thing. So how does your tokenization, ensure or help with that kind of pureness of the olive oil market and the corruption that's there?
Well, basically, olive oil is in high demand. I see parts of me.
Just keep going.
Records then.
Wow. Okay. Kushti. I think Kushti went kaleidoscopial again.
He did. There we go.
Because otherwise I have to hold the device all the time, and it's bad. So,
no worries, Kushti.
Well,
your picture looks nice.
But
Alex,
better to down.
Alex, you do know they have invented these things called phone holders for your car, so you could potentially utilize that leading edge technology.
Not often I am doing calls in a car, to be honest.
Well, we are not the same because I literally my last call that I did right before this was from the car. So I like your life better though. I don't like taking calls from the car. It's like the car is my private time to think about all the bad things I've done, and it's just taking calls anyway. But business is business. What are you going to do?
What are you're driving from New York to California, Dan? That's probably going to take a while to parse through all that trauma.
No, I was driving from Eastern Osaka to Shijunoate.
Tell us about the olive oil. What? So how's it going to help?
Okay. So let's get back into the olive oil again. Really cool because we're going to really get to dig into the traceability part with it and to really utilize all these different great things with Winter Protocol on Ergo. And so basically one of the issues with Greek olive oil, and well, all olive oil, but especially Greek olive oil, is that Greek olive oil is a hot commodity, but there's actually quite a bit of counterfeiting going on out there. In fact, a story that Theo has is that he went to a supermarket in Canada and saw Greek olive oil on the shelf, and he was happy. He's a chef, right? So he was happy. He wanted to get some Greek olive oil. He brings it back home, tastes it, and he knows. Obviously, especially a chef, a professional chef, knows what Greek olive oil tastes like. It's different, right? So different olives have different have a different flavor. And he knew that this was definitely not Greek olive oil, even though it said it was Greek olive oil. And this is not a isolated problem. This is quite this is quite an extensive problem out there with just brands saying that it's Greek olive oil, but how do you know?
Maybe and the owner's name has the word Greek in it.
Yeah, look, so what that creates is actually a high demand for a Greek olive oil that can be verified as Greek olive oil. And so this is what we're doing. So we're actually working directly with Greek olive oil producers and just Greek olives that are meant for Greek olive oil, putting them on Palmyra and tokenizing them and then tracking and tracing them to go directly to the buyer, so that the buyer doesn't have to be concerned with is this really Greek olive oil? They don't have to go with the trust me bro ethos, or the or have to develop these long-term. Well, we want them to develop long-term relationships, but not these relationships where it takes them a while to develop trust. Because you should be able to use the system so that you don't have to develop, so you don't have to really trust the producer, because you can just check the data on chain and make sure that the olive oil that they are being sold is the real deal. So just it really solves a lot. Are you even okay? You're thinking evil thoughts right now, aren't you? QX,
yeah, it's hard to compartmentalize this early in the morning,
Yeah, it's morning. It's about an hour till midnight right now, and 1 hour.
So how long are we looking till they'll start using, the product, the Winter Protocol, all that kind of stuff?
That's that's alpha. That's actually going to come out in the next few weeks. Awesome. We will let the community know when Greek olive oil is going to be available on the platform, and we believe is going to be a big deal, and there's also going to be other campaigns that we're going to be running, that are going to be directly, aimed at the community so that they can participate in Palmyra. Awesome. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
I look forward to you bringing some samples of olive oil to the next conference, so I can give a couple away.
Yeah, but listen, we got some already got some requests here. We definitely need to do another Ergo meetup. The last one was actually in Istanbul, Turkey last year, and that was actually a really nice one. What happened to QX? Come back.
All right. And then, by the way, are you going to Dubai in October, late October?
That's right. I am going to be in Dubai in October for the Cardano Summit.
Cardano Summit. So the same. And actually, there will be a lot of events around in late October. So I've got an invite even to talk at Cosmoverse. But yeah, I don't really know what to talk about there, because I know nothing about Cosmos these days. Then there will be Cardano summits, and there will be some Bitmain conference in Abu Dhabi, just around the same dates as Cardano summit.
Well, I think that actually it might be. I mean, we were talking about it last year. QX, you seem so small, or is it just because your head grew more and you don't fit in the frame?
That's what it is.
Yeah,
like the Grinch. My heart grew 10 times that day.
Yeah, your heart. Yeah, that's right. It's your heart. Definitely your heart. I think that we should this year. I mean, we spoke about it last year. We talked about doing an Ergo summit or an Ergo meetup in Dubai, and actually we did do one.
I thought you did, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that we can do a bigger and better one. And in fact, maybe, and I can't promise anything, but Charles will be there, so we might even get him to come hang out with us again at this meetup. But we'll figure it out. We'll talk about it some more, and I think there's going to be quite a few people in Dubai that are going to that are also Ergo, Ergo community people, and it might be good. We just need to really kind of think about what it's going to be about, and we're going to have to. I want to have a theme for it. Something that's very much Ergo related, promoting the tech. Maybe have maybe I guess to do something that's Rosen themed or Dexy Gold themed or something interesting. So let's definitely discuss it and see what we can do.
Yeah, and we can also do another podcast with Charles, right?
We could do that. We could definitely do that.
Since the last one already like 2.5 years passed, right? So a lot of new things to talk about. Yes.
Yeah, and actually Charles is going to be in Japan next week, so I'm going to see him, and we're going to spend some time together. He's going to come to Osaka as well, and hopefully we're going to host him at the Zengate office. And wow. QX, you're half the man you used to be. Like in that old Nirvana song. And so we'll talk about it. And I think, I mean, if schedule allows, he's always happy to participate in some, in an Ergo AMA or an Ergo video, so we can all do a video again. I think. Well, in fact, I can negotiate it. Hey, have face. Two-Face. Come back.
Do we have recursive issues all the time?
Well, your video keeps coming on and off, so I think Andy is confused.
All right.
Gives me some core exercises.
Yeah, I will try to hold this device all the time, but yeah. It's not super convenient. All right, so
what's new?
Development as usual, and these days on the development more or less. So, what's going on? So, I've been focused with what I witnessed. In the first place, 6.0. First DevNet is out like 1 week ago, right? And in 1 week there will be another DevNet. Then third one, and after that we can do release candidates, so to be close to mainnet release. That's for Sigma 6.0, so for new features in contractual interpreter. And the current DevNet was requested by Lithos guys and already used by Lithos, and Cheese actually promised to do a forum post on how it's used and what contracts the Lithos will be based on. What else? So working also on subblocks now a little bit more, and I think actually in a few weeks we can have some roles DevNet with peer-to-peer network based on subblocks for blocks. block transactions propagation, right? So and we can start testing performance. Right. Well, the goal is to achieve the maximum performance, which is achievable by classic proof of work cryptocurrency, right, with commodity hardware. So the setting we will stay on. Well, the classic flat peer-to-peer network setting. Not like what some data center based quasi blockchains are doing now, right? Contributions are much welcomed. Like scripts for load testing, Stratum proxy modification, and writing scripts with new features for 6.0 testing, all the stuff. Good news from PGR 456. So he's doing Explorer work, right, for Sigma Space, his Explorer instance. And actually, I'm thinking to propose to Ergo Devs DAO to support this. So we need to get better explorers, right? Somehow. Then, what else? MGPy is working on Keystone, right? And at Ergo Devs, we are going to support this with some kind of grant. So that's also being discussed right now.
Kushti, can you? Oh, Dan, yeah, don't tell Dan that you're taking one of his men. Kushti, what's the difference? Keystone and Ledger? Keystone's more open source than Ledger. Is that my understanding, the difference between the two?
So it's more verifiable, right? And more open, and more true in some regards, right? So they're actually trying to do their best to be fully open and verifiable. So, a really good spirit there. Not like Ledger these days.
Mm-hmm.
For Ledger, as far as I know, there is a request now to do some audits, right, and some done by some friendly company, friendly to Ledger. So I don't really know what's going on there. So folks are working on that, right? So maybe you know better than. But yes, something is going on. Hopefully, right, to get on Ledger as well. But so Keystone is, to me at least better, right, because of the spirit at least, and the attempts to be transparent and better in terms of security, right?
Right.
All right. So I personally would buy some after Ergo support will be done. And why I was asked about Dubai then? So we need to bring T-shirts to the town, right? Because there will be a lot of people around, like Cardanians, Cosmo people, and ordinary, just crypto public in general. A lot of people in Dubai. So we need to bring a lot of T-shirts.
Well, T-shirts we shall have.
Right. So the development is going on as usually. That's full steam mode.
That's very good to hear. So, what about you, QX? What have you been doing on up to in, except for not paying your light bill?
I know, right? Let's see. So exciting news about the SIG's mining pool. Cheese has had the on our testnet. He's had storage rent going strong for a good week and a half now on testnet. So that's really awesome. He we have plans this weekend to get some tea and do a Zoom call and upgrade the mainnet test server. And so that means that we've asked for volunteers from the current SIGS mining DAO to point some hash to mainnet for storage rent collection. And we've got about 28 gigahash out of our pool that are going to point. That should give us maybe a block a day, maybe a block and a half, 2 blocks a day. So that'll be very exciting. As soon as that's up, we'll spread the word to our DAO, and they'll repoint, and hopefully we can start seeing some storage rent rolling in to that pool. Once that gets done and we feel comfortable, we will then have Mark the Shark upgrade the actual new pool that he moved to on a new server, and then all our hash will point to that, and we will officially be the first full pool to implement storage rent on mainnet. Super, super exciting. So that's this weekend, I hope. What else is in the system? Cyberverse did a car mint on Cardano. Super, super cool. I always love their minting transaction views, animations. The Gen 3 animation was super cool. This mint is pretty cool. If you're an Ergo person only, let me move now that Kushti disconnected. There we go. If you're an Ergo person only, you can connect a Cardano wallet. And if you have a few ADAs in there, you can then you can then mint a car right with your ADA. I think I had like 150 or 180 spare ADA kicking around in one of my wallets. So I just connected that to my Cyberverse account and minted 2 cars. It was super cool, super fun. And I think Kilver just said that he just bought a rare Cardano mint car off of the JPEG store. So that was pretty cool as well. Dan, you're in both windows. That's fantastic. What else? Mu Finance opens on the 9th, I believe, from what I read. And he announced today that he has P2P escrow trading. So that means you can specifically bundle items together in a package and only give permissions to a certain address to take it. If what's it called? If the price is right, kind of thing. So super, super cool there. Currently, that was only really done with, I believe, at the bank, I think, right? The what the hell is it called? The SigUSD Bank site. And that was even limited there. All right, we also have SIG's moderation document. Went over some review over the weekend and in chats. There's some comments that I have to smush down, but and integrate into the document. But once that's done, I will put out the vote, and we will start enforcing some community standards. Oh, now it's just me, Dan. Dan, you are trouble. You are trouble, sir. And once that's done, that'll be great. Then we can start enforcing standards, making sure everybody is held accountable for best community practices as far as that goes. Nautilus has TX history. Super damn cool. Everybody's been wanting that for a long time. So you'll see I don't think it's in the Canary build yet. I didn't check though. But you'll see a 5th tab, I believe it is, right in the middle on the new build when it comes out. That will allow you to view all your TX history. So that's nice to see. Instead of having people go to Explore or Org Explorer and have to fish through it and figure out how to translate that, it should be nice and pretty in that view. The raffle for Gluon SDK, that is around 30% filled, but there's only 6 days left. I think we've got over 5,000 ergs left to help fund it. That's a fairly important endeavor to get that out there so that we can really, Gluon can really provide kind of an open interface for people to work with that SDK. So that kind of stuff's, while it might not be understood by the general public, it's super important for all that kind of stuff. I think that's it. And Kushti's back. Fantastic. Dan, you're out of the frame now. You got to move back.
Well, that's me over there.
That's your teddy bear? That's how you felt after Vegas,
That's
right?
me in the corner.
Being hugged so much. That's me in the spotlight.
Losing my religion.
Losing my religion. Great. All right, we got any questions?
Yeah, we do. We have a couple of questions here. Luke Gray Smith, always with a good one. So what does the crystal ball say about Ergo Note 7.x? what do the next few years look like for Ergo and the crypto space at large? So maybe who wants to tackle this one? QX, Alex, who wants to do this one?
And I think Luke wrote Ergo Nude 7.x. Is that a different model of Ergo Node?
Ergo Nudes. So what does the crystal ball say about Ergo Nudes? Are we going to do Ergo Nudes? I hope not.
No, I hope not.
For 7.0, right? So for the next version after 6.0. So no, so the plan of mine, at least currently, is to see how 6.0 will work out, and maybe to focus on some refactoring, right, to support side chains. Side chain constructions and side chain launches, but yeah, that's mostly about some very evolutionary work. So no any soft forks will be required even. And yeah, in regards with updates, Sigma 6.0 would require soft fork, and Subblocks is just a velvet fork update, so should be a very soft, the softest one probably. So it's just peer-to-peer, not just peer-to-peer. So yeah, I mean, miners would need to update at some point. All the miners. So yeah, it's kind of soft, but yeah, very soft actually. Only miners do need to update. So so after that, so the plan is to do some research, right, to see how things work out. There is a lot of research around. I'm now tracking, as usually, a lot of new things in cryptography. So I'm currently catching up with some developments and so on. So let's see. And actually, it's only about cryptography now. So for peer-to-peer network and so on. So it seems already optimal solutions are known. So, but yeah, in cryptography we will see a lot of breakthroughs for years to come. So yeah, let's see.
Kushti, you said something in chat about subblocks today, that you're digging in and you're thinking about 5 timings the TPS for starts.
So initial DevNet would be based on the current 5.x code base probably. Then can be rebased for 6.0. That's not an issue. And so then the idea is to check it all together. And probably 6.0 would be needed because there would be need to add a new parameter for miners to readjust, right, via miners swapping, like they can readjust block size and so on. So I'm thinking to do subblocks per block. Average number is also readjustable via miner swapping, right? So then miners can actually do faster transport, right, if the network is allowing for that.
So what about you, QX? What do you think about this? What do you think about Ergo Nudes?
I think we have a Spaces coming up. Not today's Spaces. Today's Spaces is a more serious discussion, but in a week, on the 25th, on the 12th, I think it is, next week, we have a Spaces about mematics and that kind of stuff. So I think that's a great opportunity to talk about what that kind of stuff means to a serious chain. I mean, every chain likes to think they're a serious chain, right? But of course, they have these layers on top that do that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that's a good discussion to have there at that time.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. So, well, let me ask you something, QX. As long as we're talking about the future, the not too distant future. And we kind of spoke about this in Vegas, I guess. The SIGs are kind of trying, and okay, so kind of rewind a little bit, where just kind of give you an understanding where my thought process is. So, if some of you who are following Cardano, there's quite a bit of governance talk, autonomy, right? Kind of a bigger plunge into decentralization, and I've always respected SIGs and organizations like SIGs within Ergo, because it's an autonomous organization within a decentralized ecosystem like Ergo that is doing their stuff. And so the SIGs are kind of trying their own thing, right? So you're kind of trying these different things. You had initiatives. Oh, there I go again on my own. Anyway, you guys. Oh, there I am. Okay, I was about to do hand puppets. The SIGs, you guys did what? You did the merch, right? So you had a vote on Paideia, or in my mind I always say Paideia. Yeah, and then Theo does it in a very Greek proper way, and I could never say it like that. But whatever, you know what I mean. So you decided to do the merch, right? So that did some things, right? So what's next? I mean, like, well, first of all, let me ask you this. What is the SIG's roadmap, say, for the next year or something? What is that look like?
So you see, so people should look at Cardano and see the order of operations here. So what Cardano did is they essentially developed a monetary system where there's a funding system in place, right? So they have catalysts, they have a treasury, they have those kind of things already built. And then they're building the community on top of that. So, I mean, that's a smart way to go, of course. The SIGs have to do that the opposite way, unfortunately. The SIGs have to build a community, and then slowly we have to find funding options and ways to fund it. That's what you see with the developer DAO, hopefully with the Good Things DAO as well at some point when we get back on track with that. So we have to develop a strong community of strong individuals that support our mission, support the mission of Ergo, support their mission essentially if they're part of it. And on top of that, we have to develop funding options. So that's really what I've been pushing super, super hard lately. Right now, we're waiting for Four Eyes to finish Sigma Lock. When Sigma Lock is finished, hopefully that will also coincide with about the time that Sky Harbor releases their front-end UI and their new smart contracts. So the idea is that we have a roadmap right now of revenue exploration, a revenue discovery. The first one is Sig Mining DAO. As I said before, Mark's moving to another server, which should allow us to make some profits, as well as pay some of the people that are actually working on it. 2 is Sigma Lock. 3 is the Sky Harbor front end being taken over and powered by the SIGs once that's released. And 4, the final one, which is the most difficult, is MFRL messaging. And all these, hopefully, the either UI fee or the mining transaction fee with MFRL messaging, things like that, a percentage that will go to the SIGs. So then slowly we can start building up some sort of treasury. Because, I mean, we can't always just ask for money from the EF. We can't. They're not going to be around forever as far as the treasury goes, depending on what they do for revenue streams. So we really have to be self-sufficient and self-sustaining, as Kushti knows with the things he's done, as well as the developer DAO. But that's our roadmap. So I think it's the opposite of what Cardano did. We've developed a very strong community. And the benefit to that is you have players inside the community. And I'm not dissing how Cardano did it. You have benefits of the Ergo method that we've done here, that we've had to be required to do because that's what it is. The benefit is the people that are here want to be here, not because there's a lot of money in the treasury and not because we have a ton of money to spend, but because they have a vision and a shared vision of the purpose and intent of what Ergo is and what it does. So then we build off the top of that and we find revenue sources based on that and with those principles, and we move forward. I think that provides a very strong foundation. So that's essentially where we are. SIG's main mission right now is to continue to grow the community and bring revenue streams in. The immediate, not so far mission is to break into more subgroups. I think that's the most efficient with the way that I've experienced Ergo in the Ergo community. It's very hard to get a bunch of people together to agree on certain things and to push forward, especially in this ecosystem, especially Ergo. I mean, everybody's very special in Ergo, I should say very kindly. So what I found that might be helpful in something like the SIGs group is to have kind of subgroups. And that is the mining DAO broke off to a mining DAO. So while they still kind of push funds back to the Sigmanauts as a main mission, they can also act autonomously. So if you don't like the main SIGs group, then go to the mining DAO. Same thing's going to exist for when we take over Sky Harbor front end. Same thing's going to exist for NFT. There's going to be a Sigmanauts NFT DAO, which bolsters the NFT community, which upholds it, which pushes it forward, which does all those kind of checks and balances. So if you don't like the main group or the DAO SIG mining DAO, you go to the SIG's NFT DAO. Same kind of thing across the board. So we'll have a treasury DAO, we'll have all that kind of stuff. That'll be a subdivision of that. We've got a treasury person. Hopefully he's watching. He came to Vegas with Mark. His name is Jake. I'm not sure if he came to the last meeting, but I wasn't there because of the US holiday, but hopefully we'll introduce him next week and we'll see if he's still interested in doing treasury in him. So that was a big thing as well. All the treasury kind of stuff is, you know, here and there on a couple Google Docs. Some people edit it, some people don't. It's about finding those people that are passionate about it that will do those specific tasks and move it forward. So that's it in a nutshell, Dan. Essentially revenue stream, keep bolstering the group, break off into sub-DAOs and keep growing those sub-DAOs and the main DAO forward.
Well, that's pretty DAO-tastic, I think. Yeah, it sounds very interesting. Sounds very autonomous. I like that.
Decentralized autonomous, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Decentralized autonomy. Yes, Alex.
Yeah, and actually that sounds interesting, and I proposed pretty much the same to Ergo Devs DAO, but yeah, well, still discussing how to organize things there. So my idea is to have the model of so-called partial leadership, right? So when you have some small squads, like maybe of 2 to 3 people even, right, and they have some leader which is this team is working on one direction only, right? And you have some joint conversation, but without one person involving in talks about everything, because it's not efficient, kind of. So it's mostly about small teams, I guess. Targeting for high efficiency. So small targeted teams are devoted to deliver things.
Yeah, I feel that in Ergo, at least, there's so much stuff to pick up and run with. We don't need to be fighting over certain, even if opinions clash and personalities clash, which they're going to. There's so many things to do and pick up on, and you can find your passion on that. We don't need to argue about, if there's somebody that's picking, even in the case, if there's something that somebody wants to work on, let's say there's something that the SIGs want to work on, and some people in the group disagree, some people agree, but there's enough of a consensus to move forward. Those people that disagreed, it's permissionless. They can group up themselves and do a thing as part of another sub-SIBs group or their own anti-SIGs group. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of this system. Nobody's going to look at you poorly or anything like that. If you build something and it gets adoption, then that's great. You know, so there's lots of opportunities for that in this kind of permissionless system.
Yeah, I mean, so it's rooted in the blockchain itself, right? So when it's uncensorable, then yeah, I mean everything on top of it is as well. So you can have indeed groups maybe you don't agree with or simply hate, right? But still they're in the same financial space. So that's maybe not convenient to everyone, but yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, some people have a hard time getting their mind around that, but I try to preach that in the SIGs at least. If you don't like what we're doing, or if you don't like what the majority of us doing, then it's permissionless. You don't have to ask us for permission. You know, the only thing that we have to ask permission on is the votes in the DAO. So anything else, you're welcome to do with a small group or on your own or anything. It's awesome. That's one of the things I love about Ergo.
Yeah, and it's also about I don't know, everything being open source, right? And not just open source, but being free, right? So, well, most of stuff I'm checking is under permissionless licenses, right? So you have a right to run it and modify it, right, without paying licenses fees or whatever, right, without a risk to be sued. Then yeah, so it's kind of free, right? Kind of I don't know, for financial GNU movement, right? Which resulted into Linux operating system, and not only. So yeah, could be seen like that.
Yeah, I love it. Like a great example is HQ and ACO just taken the Spectrum contracts and the UI and redoing it and making Crux Finance and lowering the fees because they can run it cheaper, I guess. So that kind of stuff is super cool and nobody's pissed about it. It's like, oh, cool. You did this, you did that. You have a product that you're supporting. That's awesome. So
yeah, so that's kind of truly like hacker culture, right? Well known from 80s, right? And from 70s, actually. So, well, it led to appearance of personal computers. Well, as far as I know, so I personally not that old, so didn't witness those times. But yeah, so it was about I don't know, people who built first personal computers and well, places like a garage, basically, right? So. Then GNU movements, Linux, and yeah, early internet. So yeah, I mean, all those places were by spirit pretty much like Ergo now, I believe.
Yeah, I do remember those early days. I was just thinking about actually the 80s today. I was thinking, you know, I don't remember the last time I did what we did in the 80s, which is basically just go somewhere without any mobile devices and do stuff and be completely cut off from the world as we now think of it. You know, I was thinking about, man, you know, I remember that, you know, when I was in whatever it was, third grade algebra, I was doing all the calculations by hand, but then I started kind of using the calculator at home for homework. And I noticed that, you know, long division and everything, I used to do this all by hand. But then I just started using the calculator. And I remember that I started thinking, like, I'm getting lazy. You know, I'm getting lazy using the calculator because it would just, and then when I took it away, it was so much, you know, it just was kind of like, it was difficult to get back to doing it by hand. So, yeah, the early days of whatever, the IT revolution, the consumer IT revolution. Yeah, I think Ergo is kind of there right now. You know, we, you know, we're the T92, not the 82, the 92, in a world of little those calculators, the ones that you didn't even have like the solar thing on them. You had to plug them in, and they had like the red readout numbers. Yeah, those in a world of those calculators were the T92. And I guess just like back in those days, people just knew how to use the damn thing. But now it makes perfect sense. Just of course, it's a graphing calculator that does all these different equations that you need, and has got all the software just built into it. So I think, and I know there's better examples, but just that's what comes to mind for me. Kind of thinking about those days. That's how I think about Ergo. I think Ergo is just this, powerhouse way ahead of its time, with all these different functions and all these different goodies built in. But people are still stuck on the plug into the wall little red numbers and a couple of functions calculators, and they look at this thing and they're like, oh my god, I don't even know how to hold it, because it if you guys remember the T92, it wasn't a standard upright calculator. It was like the panorama calculator. Yeah, we're the panorama calculator in the world of upright calculators. Anyway, I think that's enough metaphors for today. Alex is having a shaky car day right now. But that sunroof makes a hell of a lot of difference, though. All right, so are we going to wrap up? Folks, don't miss today's spaces. Not tomorrow, but today.
2 hours. In 2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah. So we have spaces, and then next week Thursday also, right? 12th. QX.
Yes, the 12th. Yep, that's on Mematics.
Yeah, so it will be spaces on marketing, memetic warfare, right? Let's discuss all the non-technical aspects like marketing, ideological roots, memetic warfare, whatever. I mean, it's free to join and free to speak. So. I don't know. So for memetics, we can give a mic to everyone, right? Who is willing to take? I guess because why to have other rules? And today it will be mostly about developers, project leaders, right? Well, and the idea and so what's I'm willing to get is their needs, right? So what do they need, and what are their thoughts on getting adoption and for funding options, and what do they need from libraries and the core protocol and so on. So the idea is to get feedback, to listen to them and their needs. All right.
Yeah. So in 2 hours. See him 2 hours.
In 2 hours, let's discuss the state of the applications, the ecosystem, and how to improve it.
Perfect.
So,
all right. Well, I think that's a good place to leave it off for this week. QX, you're evil. Alex,
I am.
Good driving with you. All right. Well, lots of fun stuff coming up. Lots of important spaces, development, updates. I mean, I'm really excited. I think there's quite a bit of stuff happening. I know people are concerned with the numbers and everything, but I'm not. I think we got a lot going on. I think we are moving in the right direction, and this will all pay off. I think this will all pay off in the end. All right, guys. Well, I think, we should leave it off for here for for this week. And so, next week, same time, same place, same channel. And until then, This is Dan from Japan, barely alive, but still with you. Signing off.
Ciao, everybody.
Bye, everyone. See you in 2 hours.